Okay, quick list of the ingredients we're going to be using. We're going to be using some mince, which is 500 grams. We're going to be using 500 grams of pasta sauce. I've bought spicy pepper. We have tomato puree, which is also tomato paste, chopped tomatoes, and beef stock. I'm using 2 cubes, some parmesan cheese to go on top, and the spaghetti. I've also got a baguette in the fridge and some coleslaw in the fridge, which personally I like to use as well. Right, I'm going to wash my hands and we're going to get started. Okay, first step is get your mince. Obviously wash your hands first if you're dealing with raw meat, which I have. And just put your mince in there. No oil. Don't need to worry about no oil whatsoever, because the mince has oil, has fat, shall we say, in it. And the reason why you wash your hands first, because if your hand in the raw meat like that, the last thing you want is germs to, you know, appear on your meat. Basically like that. I'll bring you back to when the meat is actually minced and browned, sorry, not minced. I'll bring you back to when the meat is browned, and then we'll go to the next steps. Okay, now the mince is cooked. You see all of this fat in here? That's usable fat. You know, if you use oil, you end up pouring out all this fat from your mince, because you know the oil you would use have no flavour, whereas this has come out of the mince itself, so it's really nice and has a meaty flavour to the oil, and it goes well and it coats over the thingy very nicely. Right, turn it down to minimum now. I'm going to start adding the ingredients and put the pepper sauce in. Unfortunately I have an electric oven, so it does take a couple minutes to cool down. But you're putting all these cold ingredients in. In goes the chopped tomatoes. Some tomato puree. Should be enough. You don't need a lot. Now technically, you can keep cooking this. You can put in your, you can keep cooking this for a bit longer and then serve it if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. I don't. Reason being why I don't is because the meat is quite tough. I like to let the meat marinate for a bit, and that way it's nice and juicy. Okay, mix that now. Gonna add in the 2 beef stock OXO cubes. Doesn't matter where you put them, to be fair, because obviously over time it is going to get mixed in to everything else. And it's a very simple spaghetti bolognese. Just give it a quick mix, just so that some of the beef stock has been mixed in a bit, at least. Now see how it's quite thick. If I was going to marinate this now, it would be very incredibly thick. So what I do is I put about half, so about 250 grams more of water. Not only to get all the stuff out of the jar, but also because you're going to marinate it, it's going to reduce down if you do decide to marinate this yourself. Yeah, unfortunately I got the wrong pasta sauce. I didn't mean to get spicy pepper, I meant to get spicy chilli, but it's fine. This has got some peppers in it, but that's okay, I suppose. You can also add onions if you wanted to. You're more than welcome to. I was going to actually add onions in it because it does make it does bulk out your meal. You know, so you're serving a lot more people for a cheaper price, because an onion is about 20p, doesn't cost much. That's basically it. It does look a bit soupy, but like I said, we are going to marinate that for, I'd say, about an hour. The reason why I like to give it an hour is so then all the flavours of the tomatoes, the pasta sauce, the beef stock, everything gets absorbed into the meat when it becomes soft again and tender and tastes really, really nice. But yeah, it's on minimum heat now. Even though it's an electric cooker, I don't need to worry about it because I put all the ingredients in cold, so that is quite cold now. So it'll take a while to heat up the ingredients. You don't have to touch it. I'm using a saute pan. You can use any pan you want. You can use a frying pan, you can use a saucepan, whichever one you prefer. It's entirely up to you. And then I'm going to give it about an hour and I'll bring you back to show you results. I'm not going to touch it, I'm not going to mix it, I'm not going to do nothing with it. I'm just going to leave it as it is. I'll come back in an hour and then you'll see it bubbling nicely, reduced down, and just look delicious. So I'll see you again, and don't worry about the shine. That is just the oil on the top. That's a good thing. If you don't want the oil, just take it out. When you've cooked the mince, take out the oil. It's entirely up to you. I like it because it gives another coat to the pasta, like I said. But yeah, if you don't like it, then take it out. If you are going to do it without the oil though, don't make your pan piping hot first. I've done that mistake myself. I've had the pan piping hot, I've put the mince on, the mince is stuck to the pan and I'm scraping the mince off. So don't put it in straight away, just put the pan on for about a minute so it's a bit warm. And then you put it on, and then that way it gives the mince chance to release the fats while it's not too piping hot, while the pan is not too piping hot. But like I said, I'm not going to cover it, I'm not going to do anything with it, we're just going to leave it like that, and we're going to come back in an hour. Okay, I'll see you in an hour's time. Right, it has been an hour, a little over, and I haven't stirred it once yet. Let's give it a nice stir. See how when you put it on minimum heat, you know, you don't have to sit there and constantly watch it. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. Yeah, that looks absolutely delicious. I'm looking forward to eating that. Right, just going to put some spaghetti in the pan. Going to put the whole packet in. Don't waste your time with any oil or butter or anything you'd like to use. The only thing you put in the water is salt, and that is it. So I'm going to go add some salt. You know, it may look like I've put a lot of salt in there, but what you need to understand is the size of the pan is really, really big, and the amount of water that is in the pan also. You know, the myth that if you put oil into the pan, it stops it from sticking. That's just a myth. I haven't put water. I haven't put oil in my spaghetti for a good couple of years, and I make pasta at least minimum once a week. So yeah, basically you don't need to mix it just yet. Let it sit there for a second. When the pasta starts to loosen slightly, give it a quick mix once, and then that's it. You don't need to mix it. You don't need to constantly stand here mixing it to stop it from sticking. You only need to mix it a couple times and come back when it's done, and then it'll be ready to go. It won't be stuck together or anything like that. Also, one thing I do like to, I am going to do is I'm going to put, once I drain it into the sink, I'm also going to put, I've boiled the kettle, I'm going to put boiling water on there to get rid of the starch so the spaghetti is not so sticky. It makes it easier to eat as well, and it tastes much better. That's all I'm going to do with that. I'm going to put the oven on, get the garlic baguette in. So you can wait till it gets to about here, roughly, and then turn your oven on, and then get your garlic baguette in. If it's put in the fridge, that is. If it's in the freezer, I would recommend putting your garlic baguette in as soon as you put the spaghetti in. So I'm going to put my garlic baguette in the oven. See how the bolognese is nice and bubbling still? This is a consistency I have. You know, it's not too thick, and it's not as watery as it was because it's reduced down quite a bit. I should have actually checked. I think it might have been about an inch. Not an inch. A little bit. Right, now it's starting to bubble. This is going to be more my one and only stir of the spaghetti. There you go. Now I don't need to touch that until it's done. So I'm going to go get set up in the living room. Next time you see me, I'll be at a table eating my dinner. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in a second.
Hello guys, and welcome to my spaghetti bolognese mukbang. The results for last week's Who Am I? The intro Who Am I did was actually Nikocado Avocado. He is an American mukbanger. Eats an insane amount of food while sitting there telling you his life stories and just stories in general. I do like watching his channel. He does post daily, which is insane. But yeah, I will leave his link in the description below for you to go check him out. We're having spaghetti bolognese today. Two drinks, if you're curious what they are, is cream soda and ginger beer. Got a garlic baguette, and also I like to put coleslaw on my spaghetti bolognese. If you don't put coleslaw on your spaghetti bolognese, would you try it? And if you wouldn't, is there something you put on your spaghetti bolognese that some people would find weird? Like most people will probably find putting coleslaw on your spaghetti bolognese quite weird. Is there something you put on your spaghetti bolognese that you find that other people might find weird but you like? Let me know down below as well. This video should include Who Am I back again. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video.
potions, call me Alice. Watch me grow taller. Yeah, rabbit's watches in his pocket. Yeah, he stays late, but he leads me, so I follow. Wandering around in Wonderland, wondering how or if I'll ever get back. Wandering around in Wonderland.
If you are curious to know what that is in the background, that is actually my custom built motorcycle helmet. I had it shipped in from Germany. It did cost a pretty penny, but it is a pretty helmet.
Follow White Rabbit. I'm taking potions, call me Alice. Chatter with the flowers. Watch the seconds turn to hours.
This is actually the moment I realised the audio was on in the background. I'm just grateful I was managed to save it in some way, and I hope you do enjoy the video.
Wondering how or if I'll ever get back. Wandering around in Wonderland. Wondering how or if I'll ever get back. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Wandering around in Wonderland, Wonderland. Wondering how
Right, we are just finishing up now. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, give it a like. If you'd like to see more and you're new, please consider subscribing. You are under no obligation to do so. You don't have to give a like neither if you don't want to. That is entirely up to you. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video.